Welcome everyone, this is Zozo Stock Watch, and I have some stocks to watch for Monday, June 12th. And before I get into those stocks, just a reminder, if you want a more in-depth view of the markets and the reasons why the stocks went down, I did a video over the weekend. Let's get ready for the week ahead. 612 to 616, so you can catch that on my YouTube channel. Just click on this one right here and I go into more detail and some news and information that's going to be coming up that will affect the markets and whatnot. So just in case you didn't watch that video, a quick look at the Qs. They were the ones that the tech stocks were hurt the most on Friday, and they were down close to 3% on Friday on the Qs. So the tech stocks were mostly down, and so we'll go ahead and get right into it. The futures are not open yet. It's early in the evening, Sunday night. Futures will open up at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to take a look at that, how they're going to open after the sell-off on Friday, just go right here, and I'll also post it in the description box on YouTube. One of the stocks I'm going to look at tonight is ALKS, all right, and that's going to be coming up on the watch list. They were mentioned in the New York Times. Seizing on the opioid crisis, a drug maker lobbies hard for its products, and they were the stock that was mentioned, ALKS, and we'll take a look at that chart, and that's one of the stocks to watch for the week ahead. And I'll also put this article down in the description for you in the YouTube. All right, so my first stock on my watch list, and I'm not a big fan of this stock, ADHD, but it did pop on Friday, and it had close to 5 million shares trade in the name. So I'll have this set up, watching this on an intraday setup. You see the candle here. We had a high of 133, so I'm looking for the 135 break on ADHD. But I would never take this early in the morning. I rather this trade for a little while and then see if it sets up intraday on ADHD. It's not a very good trading stock. You see these pops and then it gives it back. So, but this is the nicest candle so far. It did hold most of the gains, but we'll see what this wants to do on Monday. ADMP, small stock, trading at 430. We had a high near that 450 mark. So I would let this clear the 450 spot. 1.5 million shares came into the name. It is holding above the 13 EMA, above the 50, and we did have that sell-off on Friday, so I can be a little forgiving of this give back, but to me the key level here is 450 on the name. AKBA, I'm looking for this to take out 14. We had a 14.17 high on Friday. If we can get over 14.10, that might be enough to get it going on AKBA. The volume was 400,000 shares, so I would like a little bit more volume, but it is setting nicely on the daily chart here. So we'll see if it can either take out 14.17, 14.10, and see if we get a possible continuation move in AKBA. ALKS, this is the one I was talking about in the New York Times, that article. And so we had a big pop on Friday, 1.5 million shares. This is not an easy stock to day trade. It looks like it's would have support here from this breakout spot. The high on this previous candle was 60.65. So maybe $60 is the area where you'd want to put in a stop if you get in this stock, or you could use the 13 EMA, the yellow line here, which is at 59.23. So I would use, actually for me, a break of $60 on the name if I do take this. And like I said, they were mentioned in the New York Times on the Sunday, in the Sunday newspaper. AXAS, about 800,000 shares traded, and I'm looking for the break of the $2 level but we also have the 200 SMA in the way, and that's at $2. So maybe 205 might get this one going. Some of the oil stocks we're getting buying as we saw some rotation from the tech stocks into some of the oil names and also into some of the financial names on Friday. All right. Next one up is BIOS, and I traded this one last week. But if we can get a continuation over the high Friday, which was 245, maybe we get that 250 break on BIOS. 2.4 million shares traded in the name on BIOS, or maybe a red to green move if it can pull back to maybe 225. The 5 EMA on this name is currently at 223. So 225, 223, maybe it sets up again for another push up on BIOS. CCIH, you see we had trouble here at the 100 SMA, but it could be, you know, regrouping down here at the 13 EMA and the 50 SMA, the blue line. So if we can hold that spot, if this can get back over, let's call it 140, 142, we may get a continuation move up through 150, okay, on CCIH. It did pop, pulled back, popped again, pulling back, but holding above those moving averages. So, you know, a little bit light volume on Friday, but we'll see if this one is, you know, going to do anything this week. CO. Nice chart set up here, holding the 20 SMA, pulled back to it a few times. So we'll call that the $8 area that it's been holding. We have a high on Friday of 872. So I'm looking to see if this can take out 875. Traded 890,000 shares on the name. CSFL is in the regional bank sector, and these were very strong on Friday. We have a high of 25.78. So if we can clear that high, we may get a continuation move up to 26. 500,000 shares traded in the name on CSFL Regional Bank. And just to show you KRE, which is the ETF for regional banks, that was very strong. And since I've been talking about banks, XLF was also strong breakout and took out that 24 spot on the XLF. Another one that I'll have on watch is CVRS. Looking for that, you know, 140 break. We came up to the 400 SMA here, and we're hitting it here, but it would have to clear, you know, the high or 140. The high was 138. So we'll see if this one wants to have any type of continuation. Medical devices, CVRS. FOXA, FOXA. You know, this is a very thick stock, 15 million shares traded, but did have a nice candle. It's under a lot of the moving averages, and actually the green line here is the 200, and you see we're right up against that. But if we can get over that 200 SMA, which is 28.19, we'll call it 28.25. If we can clear the 28.25 mark on FOXA, this might get a nice continuation move. Now, I said the stock is very heavy, meaning there's a lot of shares outstanding. It's not a big intraday mover. This would be more for a swing trade if you wanted to trade this, and then maybe you could use a break of, you know, 27.50. If you play small, you can possibly use the low of this candle, 27.20, if you're interested in this one. It's not a favorite of mine. You see the volatility in the name. So, but I just saw this candle and thought it looked interesting. GILD, G-I-L-D. You know, at some point this thing has to turn around. I'm not saying it's going to do it this week, but it looks like if it can get back over $65 a share. We had a high of $64.94 on GILD on Friday. If this can turn and break out over 65, may get a continuation move up maybe to 66 or more. 9 million shares traded in the name, and so it's trying to put in a bottom here around $64. So I'm thinking if it can get over the high, and then you have, you know, a nice tight stop. So, but no guarantees. So we'll see on GILD. HOG, this one is holding the 400 SMA right here. It's holding it here. It's starting to turn around. If it can get back over $54 a share on HOG, which is a ways off, so it might not do it this week, But you know, it's one that I'm going to keep an eye on to see if we can get that $54 break and some kind of continuation. And obviously it's going to depend on how the markets are doing, you know, at the time. So might be one to watch for a turnaround. KERX, you see this wedge it's forming, consolidation. It's been holding this 625 spot on the name. We have a high on Friday of 656, and that's where we closed. 1.5 million shares. I'm thinking on this name, if we can take out maybe 665. Let me check this candle right here. 661 was the high on this candle here, where we had this kind of like tweezer top. But if we can get over 665, you know, maybe shorts start to cover, and we get the push up through 675 on KERX. Next one up, KKR. You see it's basing here. You can see it's coming out of the wedge pattern right there. So there's a KKR Asset Management. So this one has, we closed at 1896. If we can get back over, you know, 19, we'll call it 1910, or if you want to wait till 1915, the high was 1914, and 3 million shares traded. Maybe this can get going this week since the financials have been strong. KOPN, semiconductor name. Now the semis got killed on Friday, right? They dropped close to what, 4%, but this KOPN, you know, didn't give back much. 700,000 shares traded. This is a 5-minute chart. Now I don't know if this is a great, doesn't look like a great intraday trader to me on KOPN. This would be more maybe as a swing trade. Here's the 15-minute chart on the name. You see we're holding above the 50 EMA on the 15-minute chart, but we are under VWAP, and VWAP on the name is at 398. So I'm looking for that $4.05 break on KOPN. Maybe if you want, you can wait till it takes out the high on Friday, which was 407. So one to watch. LC, once again, another wedge pattern, credit services. We have this tweezer top up here, but if we can get over those tops, 584, so we'll say 590. If we can get over 590, maybe we get a breakout of 6. Traded 3.7 million shares on Friday on LC Lending Club. This one is kind of more on the back burner. This LINU had this big pop. Notice up to about the 400 moving averages here, pulled back, but it is holding the 13 EMA. It's an under $1 stock, and the high on Friday was 0.53. So maybe if it can get over, you know, 0.60, 0.55, it closed at 44 cents, or if it can get back over 50 cents. I normally don't trade stocks under $1, but you know, for you folks that do, this one gave a nice move recently, but it's a back burner stock, not on my priority list. LXRX, this one had news last week and a big pop, 5 million shares. We're looking for maybe a continuation move in the name. 1663 was the high, so maybe 1670. You know, might get this one going. Closed at 1640. So if you want to try it early, a break of 1650, 1655. This is one I'll watch. And just to point out, this was the 400 EMA here. Came down to it, and then we popped. We're down to it again in that area, and we popped up again. So this one maybe, you know, might want to continue moving up. So LXRX. Some of the fertilizer names had some buying in them on Friday. This MOS, Mosaic Company, looks like it's, you know, trying to make a move here off the lows. Had a high of 23.65, so maybe 23.70 is enough. 5 million shares traded in the name. So you might get a continuation move, but you know, all the moving averages up ahead. The 50s rolled over. I wouldn't expect too much out of this, but you know, things do have to start somewhere when they turn around. MOSY, you know, big pop the last few days, pulled back, trying to break out over this, you know, 100 SMA. which is around, I think, $2. Let's check that. The 100 SMA is 184. So maybe 180 is enough to get this going. Volume Friday, 5 million shares, close to it. So we'll see how this sets up on an intraday chart on MOSY. MTW, this is one of these infrastructure plays, construction equipment. It's been in consolidation. It's been holding around the 200 SMA. And maybe looking to take out, this 625 spot. So we'll see how this sets up intraday. 2 million shares, close to it, traded on Friday. NAKD, looking for this to take out $2 perhaps. We had the big pop. We've pulled back. We got buyers in here. We've moved up a couple of days, pulled back. Now we're moving up again. So, we'll see if the bulls can carry the day in this and get the shorts to start covering. But it does have work to do. I would have to clear, the $2 level to maybe get really interesting. OAS, like I said, money was rotating into some of the oil names. Traded this OAS. I'm in this at $9.02. So I'm looking for a continuation move, hopefully. We can get up through 950. If we do get up through 950, you might want to get interested in OAS. And I believe one of the Nigerians was on was it last week or maybe the week before? They were talking about there was a lot of options activity in the name. So we'll see. Pandora, a lot of chatter around the name as far as takeover by either Verizon or Sirius Satellite. I don't know how true that all is. They might have walked away from one of the bids by Sirius Satellite. I think for 1.5 billion, I think was mentioned as a price. Anyway, maybe it's in play next week. 62 million shares traded in the name on Friday, so we'll see what that wants to do. POT, another one of these fertilizer agricultural names, came up to the 300 SMA, the orange line right here. 11.3 million shares traded. It has a high from Friday 1709, so we'll see if this wants to continue, but you do have the 200 flat SMA right here, so not expecting too much from this name. PRIM, this is one of the infrastructure plays, engineering and construction, and this chart looks very interesting to me. We pulled back to about the 20, 13 in that area, 10. We held all the fast moving averages basically. And now we have a nice candle here, and we have a high of 24.76. So if it can clear, 24.90, maybe it breaks out through 25. The volume is a little bit light on this stock, so just be careful with that. More of a swing trade type of trader for PRIM. REV coming up off the bottom. Over 500,000 shares traded. You see this rounding bottom here. Nice body on this candle. Has a high of 2055. So if it can take out that 2055, maybe we can fill the gap, or at least maybe get up to the 50 SMA on REV. REX, this is another oil and gas name. Over 500,000 shares traded. 325 was the closing price. Over 330 might be enough to get this one going on REXX. Rice, another oil name. Now if you notice, it came down to the 400 SMA here and popped up. Hit it here, popped up, and that's the 400 EMA, the dotted. Then it pulled back to the 400 SMA, and maybe it's starting to turn back up. So keep your eye on this RIC, oil and gas name. Close to 6 million shares traded on Friday. So we'll see if this can take out the highs. We have a high here of 2031. So maybe if it can clear that, we might get a continuation move in the name. Just be aware you have the 20 SMA red line right here up in the way. SALT, a shipping name. This one had a nice pop. 1.4 million shares traded. Be looking to see if it can get back over $7 a share on SALT. Probably looking for an intraday setup on the name. SENS, Nice volume, 900,000 shares, trying to break out and get over the 50 SMA, which is at 157. So if we can clear that, the high was 159. So if it can clear 160, 162 in SENS, we might get a continuation move in the name. Target, nice pop, volume 8 million shares, trying to come up off this fry pan bottom, made a bottom here, so we had lows here, higher low here, turning back up, maybe over 57 might be enough to get this one going. Just be aware, you know, all the moving averages are sloped down. The 100 SMA is, you know, pretty close, which is at 57.87. So, you know, maybe this retailer is turning around. We'll see. TNK, which is another shipper, close to 3 million shares in the name, looking for it to take out the highs on Friday, which was 191. The 50 SMA is 198. So if this can clear, you know, 198, you know, we might get a continuation move in TNK. And like I said, volume came in on Friday, so might be interesting to watch. URG, 1.6 million shares, under $1 name, industrial metals and mining, and we have a high on the name of 63 cents, so maybe 65 cents might get this one going if you like to play these under $1 names. But you know, decent volume, and you know, if this is one that you're interested in, could, you know, possibly push up to, you know, 70 cents or so. All right, so this was Zozo Stock Watch. These are some stocks I'm watching for the Monday, the June 12th, and you know, they might set up during the week. Each night I put out a stocks to watch list for you on my YouTube channel. If you could, please follow my YouTube channel, subscribe to it, and this way you get email alerts, and this way it'll be easier for you when a new video goes out. So thank you very much for watching. Have a good, successful day trading this Monday. Like I said, be careful. Let's see where the futures are going to open tonight. Here's your link, and I'll put this down in the description on YouTube, and they open up at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll see, you know, what the market's going to bring. All right, thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day tomorrow trading. Be back at it tomorrow, Zozo Stock Watch, and thank you very much for listening. Have a great day.